Good evening, ladies and gents. My name is Helzo, the bearded Balkan blabbermouth, and I'm DiscussThing. And today I wanted to do a little bit of a different video with you. I wanted to kind of put a good wrap on 2024 and possibly have some predictions to 2025 based on what we are currently seeing. So 2024 was very busy as a year, both in gaming and in entertainment overall. We had a lot of world events that have happened. We had a lot of stuff overall happening all around. For one, I restarted my YouTube channel and here I am talking to you people. And I finally found my way of sorts to do things that I want to do on this channel and just have fun, which is what I've been doing ever since I got back. But there is one resounding thing and one thought that has been circling around the entire gaming community and entertainment community as a whole throughout the entire 2024 and is carrying over to 2025 very strongly, and that is we have had enough. And what I mean by that, I mean that gamers and people who are fans of comic books, of TV shows, of franchises and so on have finally utterly completely had enough of being treated like absolute garbage. And I do mean garbage. We, the consumers and the people who enjoy franchises and stuff, fantasy, sci-fi, games, history, every bit of creative media that we have accustomed ourselves to consume, to grow up with, to have us make us escape this reality and just dive into a fantasy world of sorts, or just take us away from our thoughts and our experiences from the day as a whole, has treated us in one way or another as absolute garbage, as second-rate people, and as people who are just a money bag to be used whenever the studio feels the need. And we have seen that, especially in gaming, with the games that have been produced as of late. And for a while now, this has worked. Game companies had released a lot of games that are either unfinished or buggy or filled with unnecessary things or infused with DEI and wokeism that no sensible gamer wants to have, and they just expected that we will continue to buy their products without any questions and just be happy and consume. Well, no. 2024 is the definitive year, in my opinion, where all of this stopped. We have had a lot of good games, granted. We have had very big successes from unexpected places, but we have also seen that almost all of the big gaming studios that have been producing and giving us games for many years have flopped spectacularly. And the biggest and most notable flop is by Ubisoft. This is a company that I have been talking about for a long time already. I have many videos to them, so I just want to quickly recap what has happened to Ubisoft. They have spent around $800 million on a game called Skull and Bones, which was in development for close to 10 years, I think. It currently has 138 players with 209 as a 24-hour peak and an all-time peak of 2600. And if you see here, Gamealytics scores around 40k people that have owned this game, which means that have purchased this game in the majority of time, which brings around $1 million or so depending on what they have paid for the game. I think the game was around $40, so yeah, that's just about it. And with the production cost, as we mentioned, this is an absolute and utter complete financial flop. Moving on to Star Wars, which also has around 2500 as an all-time peak in the last 2 months, and it has 500 people players right now. This is a game that has estimated to cost around $200 to $300 million, and Gamealytics says that it has a little bit of a better owner estimate, which is 61,000 people, which if we open Gamealytics, we can see that it's around, at the very best, $4 million in revenue. This is an absolute flop. I know this is just Steam and there are a lot of other platforms there. You can get it in a lot of different ways and the tracking is not entirely accurate, but if the biggest platform for game distribution in the world has these numbers, then even if you add the same numbers from the other platforms, you still get nowhere near that budget, not to mention surpassing it and making a profit. You also have XDefiant, which is shutting down due to very, very low numbers, which is also another game from Ubisoft. And to show you that this is not an isolated case and not only catered to one studio, here is Dragon Age Veilguard, which has had greater numbers than what we just discussed, but we have had 89,000 people, which were the top in about 3 days since the release. We have covered that, and it has 3,800 people right now playing it with a 9,000 24-hour peak. This is a game that also cost around $200 to $300 million report allegedly. We don't have official numbers and they don't want to release them. And if we see here, we have around at the best $60 million as a revenue from those copies sold, which means that if you add these numbers from the other platforms, which we have also covered that they're down and they're probably half of that, you still not get anywhere near what it was projected and what is needed for a company like BioWare to score a profit and to basically report it as profitable. There have been some people who said they don't report profits, but if you just search for a Mass Effect article from, I think it was 2010 or 2012 for Mass Effect 2, you'll see that they have reported the huge sales 3 days after release because they were confident and they had actually broken even and started making profit in the top 3 days after release of a game. The fact that we still don't have an official information about how much the game has cost just speaks for itself. Now these are only some small examples, but they're the most notable because they come from big companies. We have had a lot of other flops, and as I said, a lot of winnings like Black Myth Wukong and Stellar Blade, which are 2 games that seemingly came out almost out of nowhere because they were the first big names and the first big games that came out of the respective studios, and they just crushed it completely. We have also had Marvel Rivals, which came out at the end of last year, and it completely destroyed the charts. It has broken its own record recently and reaching 644,000 people concurrent players. It has around 15 million by Game Analytic owners, and it's being played more and more as time passes, which is almost unseen for a game nowadays. It's been out since 6th of December and is just continuing to grow with outstanding reviews, and the game is fun as hell. It has amazing characters, it has comic book accurate characters, and it has constant updates. It is amazing fun to have because the people who have made it, which are NetEase Game, created the game with that sole purpose. Now these things are all fine and well, and we have had unexpected wins and a lot of losses, but the thing is that what we need to get from all of this is that people have finally made a decision regarding how they want the future to be, and they don't want to spend hard-earned money on absolute shit. And that's the message 2024 has imbued in itself from the gamers. We are tired, we don't want anything to do with bad games, we don't want to play bad games, and we certainly don't want woke and DEI, diversity, equity and inclusion inserts in our games. We have spoken that, and we have seen that giants have fallen because they have allowed themselves to associate with companies like Sweet Baby Inc., with other consultancy companies, and to have narrative directors to change things, to insert outrageous things that nobody wants. They have pandered to the trans ideology and they have inserted it in the worst ways possible. We have seen government funded games fall like Dustborn. We have seen the fall of Concord, which was promoted to be one of the best and the most promising games before release. And all of this is because the gamers have finally found their voice again. And it happened because several people have decided to speak out in the last few years and to grow their online presence with that idea in mind, and to just speak on behalf of gamers and not keep their mouths shut and not let things slide. People like Nerdrotic, The Critical Drinker, Ryan Kino, Hypnotic, Smash JT, Dr. Disaster, The Side Scrollers, all of those people, much more, have decided that they're going to pull the connection strings that they have and expose and bring to light all the egregious things that the companies are doing without telling their fan base about anything and just expecting for people to blindly burn themselves once again and just have an open wallet and money flying in their way. And this used to happen before. We have purchased a lot of games in the past, me included, that have turned out to be absolute and complete utter shit, but were promoted as an absolute gem because we didn't have the information. We only trusted what the official news sources were telling us and what the gaming journalists were writing about it in those pretty little websites that they have. But now everything has shifted. 2024 was the year that the tides have started to turn, and the way that they're turning allows gamers to surf on top and to just sweep away all the deceitful, lying, manipulative journalists, companies, and personalities that only want your money without giving you anything. And there has been a lot of backlash. Of course, there has been defenders of the woke, defenders of the DEI and inclusion and the narrative that have tried to stand up and say, no, you're wrong, you're bigots, you're grifters, you're sexist, you're racist, you're every bad and vile word in the dictionary. And they have failed because when they stood up alone, because they do not know what the meaning of togetherness is. They don't know what being in a group, what being in a fan base, and what support is. They stand alone, and if something happens and if one of them shows weakness, they are being eaten by their own. We have seen this recently with the one and only Encanto, which apparently is so out of touch with reality that even people who are in the same boat as her don't want her there. People like Adam Sessler have publicly ridiculed her in the past few days, which prompted a lot of material and has brought to light further evidence that the woke don't care about anyone. They don't care about people. They don't care about gamers. They do not care about... The only thing they care about is getting a paycheck and promoting something that they're told to promote. That is it. They don't have anything else going for them. And now that the tides are turning and the wind is blowing in the other direction, we have seen a lot of companies changing their tune, supporting what they used to attack so viciously in the previous year, and just outright admitting how wrong they were in an attempt to appease their readers. And me saying that woke died or that the tides are turning is not going to bring the entire industry down or make the wokeness and the DEI narratives and the bad games and those culture warriors and virtue signalers down. There's still going to be a lot of games like that and a lot of studios that are probably going to fall victim to this narrative. However, one thing has changed fundamentally, and that thing is the core of every business and every company that strives to survive in the market, and that is gamers are now vigilant, gamers now remember, and they have a lot of information in their possession, and they refuse to pay for something they do not like. And that's what's happening. That's why all the flops have happened, and they will continue to happen. And every company can have as many financial injections that they want and that they can get their hands on, and they can continue to survive and make games and make products for a long time. The thing is, if they don't cater to the people that they need to cater to, the gamers, they will simply be hollow games with nobody buying them. And eventually, either sooner or later, the financial aid will stop and they will be abandoned in the dust by the same people that were pushing them to promote their agenda. And they will be left to rot and rust and just wither away unremembered. And other companies will come in their place, and they will know and want to support gamers and to bring the thing that we want the most, aka escapism, and they will make us happy, and we will open our wallets to them and we will show them our happiness. That's how the symbiosis has always worked in these cases, and that is how it's going to work once more. Nature has a way of correcting itself, and nature has a way of healing, and that is what's happening. Our eyes are open, we are fighting the fight against woke companies, and the fight will continue until we are victorious. Might not be today, might not be tomorrow, might not be this year, but we will continue to fight. And this fight, my friends, is good. Thank you for watching this video up until now. If you have, if you enjoy my content, press the like and subscribe buttons in this video. Share my content whenever you can to support me. And if you want to support my channel directly, press the join button and become part of the DiscussThing guild. And if you want to help homeless animals and animals in shelters, press the Patreon link down in the description below, where I gather money for help of stray animals. 100% of everything that I get there goes to building houses, getting food, getting medical care, getting warmth for the stray animals around. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Helzo, this was DiscussThing, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers and stay fresh.